Thank you. Thank you. This is Najee Hampton. Okay, so today we're talking about merch. So I have Najee Talks merch, just my normal logo for sale. You know what I'm saying? We got the link in the description. We got mugs, we got shirts, I got hoodies and sweaters. You're gonna see me wearing these from continuing on. May not be in these certain episodes coming up, earlier ones, but as they go on and as I do my midweek rants, you will see them. And so if you would like to purchase them, please, it's a description. The link will be in the description, and please support as much as you can. Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, this is Najee Hampton. This is Najee Talks. This is my weekly rant. Just gonna be talking about what's been on my mind for the week. Alright, so today I'm gonna be talking about taking risks. So taking risks aren't it doesn't have to be big or small. It's just that. It's really more so about having the courage to do something like that, taking chances or something. Like I said, it doesn't have to be big, like it doesn't have to be large or small or whatever it is. It's just about pretty much doing something that you enjoy or just are interested in, and see if you enjoy it or not. That's pretty much a big thing to do. Like it can be with things you do or people, so that can determine a lot just off of that in general. So I'm just gonna talk about these experiences I've had in life, so let's start. I said I didn't really have a lot of risks I took until high school, but I had one in middle school that was important. I did so I wasn't so growing up I was always doing speeches or I was in a lot of plays and stuff like that. My brother Dom, he was big and he did plays before me, and so he got me into it. So it kind of went off of him doing it and me doing it with him. We did one together in middle school before he graduated, and then after that 7th grade I ended up doing one. So it was interesting how it happened. So I was in I was in the Christmas Carol, that's what it was. But it was like a middle school version of it. So we were students. But it was good. It was a good play. But anyway, so I just wanted to do just like a side character, because I knew it wouldn't have been hard to get, because people like to go for the main roles. So I wasn't like that at that time. And so what happened was I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go for the side role. Got the side role, chilling on that, comfortable with it. I wasn't really confident, with my skills, and I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll take it, just so I can be in it. That's pretty much all I really cared about. So alright, cool, I'm gonna do that. So I did it. So I had the small role, right? So then what happening was the guy that had the main role, the Scrooge role, he not meet the GPA requirements for the play, so he couldn't do it. And this is literally halfway through the rehearsals. So he's so then the director's yeah, so who thinks that they can learn all these lines in just this short amount of time? Nobody raised their hand. So I was like, I'll do it. Since nobody else did it, because I wanted this role. I wanted the role anyway. I did want it, but I was just yeah, like I said, I was just wanted to be comfortable at the time. So, and then it ended up happening. I ended up getting the role, and it was crazy because I ended up memorizing so much so fast that the director was so impressed. She was mad at everybody, all the other actors, why he learned so much. He has the most lines, but he knows these lines so well already, and you guys can barely learn yours. And he got his halfway through. Come on, get together. But I was already used to memorizing a lot of stuff. Cause I did speeches before. I had to learned I did MLK speech before, and did that, learned it and stuff. I've used my memory for a lot of stuff. so it's not this shit's new. But yeah, so and the play was fun. Had a good time playing Scrooge. A lot of people enjoyed it. It's always fun, like when people. I remember it was funny. So, DeMar DeRozan, the basketball player, he went to my middle school. So he also played basketball with my brother Dom at Contra High, but he went with my middle school first, so he was a year older than me. And so, school plays, everybody has to watch it. So after the play, he came up to me and was like, "Hey, he had asked me, because it was like a scene that I had to like slam my head on the bed, and it was just like, it wasn't like a real pillow. It was just like pretty much like a blank, like kind of like cover, whatever, pillowcase, whatever, and it was like, the pillow and like the sheets was like covering up like like a box, whatever. And I guess when I slammed my head on it, it sounded like it hurt. So he walked up to me and later on was like, "Hey, bro, when you sit on that bed, did it hurt? Because it sounded like it hurt." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "It kind of did." I wasn't expecting. He was like, "Yeah, it sounded bad." I was like, "I know." Because they're usually like those like boxes are usually like pretty pretty hollow, so it was just loud, but it wasn't like, it didn't hurt like that bad. But then after that was. But a lot of my other interests came in from high school. Like I said, when I became more confident in myself. So like around junior year, pretty much. Junior, senior, I did a lot. I did a little in sophomore, but junior and senior were pretty much the pinnacle of the shit I did. Like honestly, it really was. I did so much. Because mind you, I also had ADD, but I didn't know I did. So it was like once I was interested in things, I was like, let me try it. And it was like, that's pretty much what I kept doing. Try. Like, oh, what's this? And when I became more confident in doing these things and taking the chances with doing them and stuff like that, that was when I was like, oh, yeah, let me see what this is about. It's 10th grade, actually. I think that was when I joined. So JSA was pretty much like a debate club in high school. Junior Statesman of America, yeah. So I joined that. With Ali and Jasper, and it was funny because we didn't really it was a debate club, and so I wasn't a debate person, but we heard the parties were jumping at those little conferences they have every year, so we just do it for that. But I did almost debating something in one of the topics before when I was in there, whatever, watching one of my friends go. I was like, oh, I can do this one. Now this seems like a nice one to talk about, but I never did it. Still wasn't confident to do that shit. This was before I did research. But that was that was pretty much the reason though. But then after that, volleyball, junior, senior, Capital League, we junior, senior, Medcore actually was all, but Medcore was because Dave was in Medcore, so my mom put me in Medcore because of Dave. So I was in Medcore at USC for all 4 years. And I didn't fucking go. I was never in those classes they had us in. We literally would be in the auditorium. And then we have to go over classes to go over stuff they teach us, tutors, whatever they do for the classes they gave us. But we would never go. After we had the group meeting with everybody there in the mornings, then after that, then we would do the individual classes. And we would never go to those things. I've been there before. Like I said, I've never been to the classes, but it was either we would not go before we would start it, or we would wait until lunch and then not come back. It's always during that transition time. And the thing is, a lot of times I feel like a lot of times it was after lunch we wouldn't go back. Because of course, in the first part we're sitting there kind of man, kind of hoping we don't, I don't really want to get back to this now. But we did that a lot. We just ventured around USC. And then before USC got as popping as it is now, the campus is amazing now, but back in that time, this is I started high school, high school was 05 to 09. So those 4 years was pretty much when I was doing all this. And it wasn't as popping as it is now. This shit is amazing. That campus is dope. I would have never went to school because I seen the campus. I didn't like it. But I loved USC. When Dom went and I started seeing it. But then now I go to USC, I'm like, damn, bro, this shit hella popping now. I'm great the fuck out this shit, bro, compared to how it was. I was like, yeah, I'm impressed. Yeah, but we used to just not go. And I'd be like in the classes and shit, walk around, venture out, do a bunch of random stuff. It was fun though. Like we had so much fun. It's not big, not doing the shit they wanted us to do. and then whenever we do it after lunch, we'd always go to our respected buses afterwards. We'd be like, let's make sure we get our buses and go home. Like that's what we had to make sure we would do. We had to make sure we just got to the buses on time. Got home. That's all that mattered. Good times though, man. Oh man, some great memories. But then through MWR, I say I did like this these like they were like these programs we did where we was like trained to be nurse assistants pretty much. So we had to literally spend 2 weeks together studying everything that nurses would know, like just like ASAP stuff, whatever like we can learn in 2 weeks. So like a lot of the materials and stuff like that, like stuff they learned in school, but kind of sped it up, because we didn't do too much, of course, but and then I was like a lot of like clinical shit, like bed making and hand washing and stuff like that. And so that was a pretty much, so we got scored on all of that. I think I had to do the written part because they give you 2 times to take the written. If you don't, you fail. You can't do it. So I remember I failed one time because I did it twice, but I did the program twice, 2 summers. But then the first time I think I failed the written portion, was scared. That was fun. Then after that, then you go to whatever like school, whatever hospital you want you to be at. The first year I was at MLK in the triage. It was boring. We just registered. People were taking their vitals and stuff. But then it was funny because it was cool because in MLK, that's in the hood. That's in Watts, and Compton. So there was like so then there was this time this guy came in. He had blood on his head, like his hair hitting his head, holding his head, bleeding down his head. And a guy from the I was like in charge of me, supervising me, was like, hey, let me go see what's going on with that. Alright, just go up in there and be quiet. And I was like, alright, you just be invisible. So I just sat there because they had like a room they take the ER people first before they go take them somewhere else, whatever. And so they had them in that room first, like the big room. And so he had them in there, and he was like, they were like trying to like contain the situation and stuff. So a nurse looked at me. I was like, I'm not ready to be here. I was just trying to be quiet. It wasn't there. She looked at me and was like, hey, can you pass me the towel? I was like, alright. Just gave the towel. I was like, I don't know if I can even do it. That's not scary. I mean, it was not scary. It was just funny though. Nervous. That was a good experience to have. Then after that was the second year I did 103rd station. 103rd. It's like a hospital that's on 103rd Street, but it's like a whole bunch of different clinics in it. So it's not like one big hospital. It's pretty much like a huge clinic. It's just a whole bunch of fucking different clinics in that big building. So it's not like a big hospital. It's just like a big building with different clinics in it. And so we just like pretty much rotated throughout the summer, to different clinics. I remember doing like orthopedics one time and stuff like that, whatever. So wasn't that fun. Oh, me and Curly, cause I was like technically just not before I got on here. Me and Curly actually, I remember because I think we had did the eye doctor together. That was, like I said, wasn't fun. We just sitting there. And when I did a hospital in high school, the hospital program they have for us, I was at MLK, and they had me in fucking orthopedics and shit. And I was like, this shit is boring as fuck. They had us reading like an anatomy book. And then we saw casting getting done, but that's pretty much it. I was like, this shit's stupid. I was like, I could not do this shit. Is this all I gotta do? Because it's like, it's pretty much, because as I've learned it, because orthopedics and orthopedic surgeons relate to chiropractors, so it's like we learn a lot, they're related. So like, but they're pretty much a lot more serious stuff than chiropractors are. Because if it's like that serious, like for what we can't do, chiropractors can't do stuff for them, whatever, then they have to, and it's so serious that they would have to send them to orthopedic. Like you see, like, because the things, it's like pretty much the same thing with any other surgeon. Like, they're not going to be, it's not going to be in them, it's not like something that's like you're originally just going to go to. Like you have to go to your main doctor first. Like if you will go to the chiropractor first, talk to it, if we can't treat you, whatever, if it's that serious they need to go to a surgeon, it's different. You know what I'm saying? That's how we gotta do it. We gotta refer them. You know, but just like with any other ones, they were like, all right, well, like a regular doctor, your main, we call him a PCP, your primary care physician. That's what we call him. So that's the one you mainly go to, and then he'll talk to you about your options and be like, okay, because a lot of times they'll probably send us to, they can send them to, chiropractors, or like, if it's just too serious, they might, all right, we'll send you to the surgeon. Like, it all depends on what it is, and they might, so a lot of times it's like your primary care physician is usually just going to be, they'll be like, if it's serious, they'll refer to specialists. That's how it works. You don't automatically just go to one. You gotta get referred to. But so that's how that was. Then other things I did was, I joined this modeling club that was at high school too. That was like, so that was the first time I actually did modeling. I mean, I think in middle school I did do something for, but it was like I think it was like African. It was like African American history, history month, I guess. And I did like play for that, whatever. I got my hair twisted for the first time for a week, and I had modeled my dashiki that I had my mom bought me when I was younger. That was like the first time I did that. That was pretty much it though. Then after that was in high school, I did the modeling thing. And then like 11th grade we did, me and Ali Jasper did all of the fucking talent shows and fucking assemblies, all that 11th grade year. The whole time, bro. Whole time. And then we weren't able to do it senior because we had got caught with the we had the money, so we had the money for a uniform, but we ended up getting in without having to pay. So we got caught, and then we got in trouble, and so they took all of our events from us because they knew we liked doing the events. It was stupid, but we even did that. We had the money, we was gonna pay. That was the plan. Anyways, so the thing is, it was like that happened, took everything from us. So we couldn't even have a good ass fucking senior. We had all the plans on what we were gonna do for the talent show and for the assemblies. Like, we literally had a lot of plans. Like, it was so much that we had scheduled. Like, it was just like, oh, we're gonna do this one. Oh, we're gonna do this one. Like, we did Love Below, we did then what song was that? Caroline. The Caroline. Damn, what song is that one? Damn, I can't remember. But it was like, cause their music video, the speaker box and Love Below, the Outcast video, it was a talent show music video. Like, that was funny. So we literally did the music video for a talent show. So it was like, so Ali was actually on 2000, and then his friends would Love Below, and they all had bought these fucking customized fucking sweaters with the actual like things on the sweater, like Love Below and the heart and the upside down heart and everything. And then I was big boy, so we all had on the blue shirts and jeans. That was pretty much how I had on, just simple shit. So that's what it turned in, and then we did the whole video that way, where they did those two verses, and then we came in. We was like, speaker. We literally came in from the backyard, everything, just like in the video. They was like, speaker box. They was like, Love Below, and we started fighting. Ran up to each other, started fighting. And then the girl that was after our friend Keita had played Cat Williams, so he took her out of the room, like everything like the video, like literally, it was like that good. And I did the rap in front of the girl. My friend Simone was the girl. That was funny. Like the whole thing. And then for one of the assemblies we had did swing dancing. That was fun. Oh yeah, that was a good time. Me, Ali, Jeremy Armstrong, and Darnell Black. Yeah, and then we had like the girls. It was like, we were all partners. They were all older than us. It was like all 8s, we was all 9s. It was funny, but that was pretty much we did like a whole like it was fun though. It was really fun. But like I said, because we didn't get a chance to do it after that, we was pissed. That's what we like cared about. Like really just doing that. And we couldn't like go to the picnic. Found out the senior picnic, they ended up going to Knott's after the picnic. But it's whatever. That really wasn't a big thing. They still let us go to prom. Prom really wasn't shit. Like, I don't like that shit. Like, I mean, it was cool like having the weekend to not be at home, because it was like a full weekend. Like, we did the prom was weak, period. But the champagne party was fun. The whole prep for the champagne, we didn't really enjoy the champagne party. It was for everybody else. We were literally just in the room getting ready, and then people came in and took photos. Jasper was the only one that didn't fucking wear the colors everybody else was wearing. Cause it was four of us, me, Ali, Jasper, and Darnell. We all had on fucking cream and some other color, and the colors matched the girls' dresses. That was the point. And the thing is, Jasper was supposed to fucking wear cream and whatever other color, and he didn't. Fucking shit up, bro. We were supposed to have a whole teamwork going on, man. He had on fucking gray. No, come on, man. Anyways, but yeah, it was pretty much a whole setup. The whole like everybody was just getting ready, and we was chilling in the room. I remember my date Tori she had to get her hair done. My auntie, luckily my auntie was a hairdresser, so she did her hair for her. She didn't like hers was done. That was fun. But I was surprised because I saw everybody that was at the champagne party for the when we finally got outside. It was like so many fucking people, and I heard like people were like leaving their cars in the streets. Like the whole fucking block was like covered with like cars for this. Many of us on the yard outside the gates, just like taking photos. It was fun. Then after that, because mom was like, this is like first responsibility like that my mom gave me. She was like, all right, you're in charge of the limo. She ordered the limo, so she has, and I actually made a prom because I had made mixtapes at the time. Like I got paid by a friend of mine, schoolmate of mine, who was actually paying me for to make mixtapes for him. So I had to make a mixtape for prom, of course. So so I had that, did the prom, made the music. Was in charge of making sure everything worked well with the limo and everything like that. So when we finally got in, went to the prom. We basically spent most of the time waiting in line to take fucking photos. I don't even fucking remember it, honestly. But we did have a whole weekend set up. So we had got a hotel room. It was only me, Ali, and Darnell got the rooms with our dates. So how it worked, we ended up just doing after prom. We got the limo to take us back home. I took my mom's car, and Jasper ended up fucking like, he fucked up. I don't know. He got his date Matt, and Dad left him, and him and Devontae went to, I guess like, because it was like two after proms. We had to one that the fucking parents was watching over at that we went to, and then the one he went to, him and Devontae went to. Yeah, it was weird. Anyway, so. But yeah, just us three that went in my car, I think. Oh no, I'm trying to think because it was clearly too many people for that. Because that still would have made 6 for when they filled up the car. But we took two. Yeah, Donald had his car at the time, so we took 2 cars, of course, which makes sense. To the hotel, checked in, pretty much chilled until after prom. And then after prom was fucking weak because we couldn't do shit because the parents were watching over. They were literally watching over us because they was on the balcony shit looking down. And we was like, bruh, like we could have just stayed in our fucking rows. Like, or did something else. Like I was so mad. Like this shit was pointless. But then the next day we ended up going to Six Flags. Six Flags was fun. It was like a nice little group of us, of course, me, Ali, and Darnell. Their dates didn't come, but my day came. Tori, everyone was there. Damn, who else came? Cause it was like a good little group of us that went. So we went to Six Flags, had a good time. Then I want to say after that we had came back and went because I remember we saw a movie at some time, but I don't remember if it was that day or a different day. But I do remember us going to see a movie at one time. But that was the weekend. That was fun. Prom weekend was the whole thing. Like if I had been done with it, it would have been really boring. And then with Tuskegee, I took a chance with that because I took a risk because nobody in my family went to an HBCU or even went. The furthest any of my family ever went out of state was Arizona. Like I had a cousin that went to Arizona State, and that's it. And then Dave clearly went to Berkeley, but that's pretty much it. Dom was I used to like my family wasn't that far. Like none of them went to school that far, so I was the only one that ever went this far. Like even if I would just went to like HBCU in like Texas, that's still far. Like and it's still an HBCU because no one else did it. So I mean the reason why I did it because like me and Jasper, because me and Jasper, clearly best friends, and wanted to go to the same school, and so his cousin Rayshawn went to San Diego State. So he was like, my sister went there, so I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to go to any school that my family went to, but he wanted to go because of his cousin. So, but we had the same GPA, but I had more extracurricular activities than him. So he was just like, and I could have gotten, even though I did get in originally, I could have gotten in because I was a adopted child or whatever, so I went through that option instead. But he was like, you know, I'm not gonna get in because you couldn't get in originally, and you probably can get in later on. But the thing, so he's like, we have the same GPA, but you have more like extracurricular activities than me, so I'm definitely not gonna get in. So I was like, oh, okay. So he was like, so because the thing that at King Drew we had a lot of options. Like they made sure we applied to fucking schools. Like there was like we had a whole like dope ass fucking college counselor that made sure schools came to us. And the thing is, if your GPAs are up to par with that school, you'll get an excuse to go to the recruiting meeting. Like that's how dope that shit was. Like you can leave your classrooms to go to those meetings. Nobody cared because the shit's important. Like niggas gotta go to college after this. And then we had class before them. She had made us. We had an all boy class that year, my senior year, and she had made us. I think apply for some schools to. I do remember I did 2 different like general applications, and like how that works is it's pretty much like they'll send everything. They'll send the application to a whole bunch of colleges. So the regular one was a whole bunch of regular colleges, and then they had one for HBCUs specifically, and then Tuskegee came to our school, and then he had let us because so how it worked was we had to give him our transcript and our test score with our application that we would fill out at that meeting, and we just give them everything. And so then when we went to the Black College Expo, we had saw the recruiter there. He was from Cali, from LA. And we saw him there. He was like telling us like that me and Jasper both got in. And I got a scholarship too. That shit lasted like 1 fucking semester though, but still like but the thing is like, so I was thinking like, so the thing I was like, alright, so I also was trying to think like options and shit, whatever, like, so I got into like 9 schools in total. So I was like, looking at them like, well, I mean, one was like fucking Northridge, and I wasn't gonna go there. But I got into like a lot of good ones like St. John's in like New York and Azusa Pacific. Like I didn't know that these motherfuckers were good. Like I didn't know, but St. John's was like similar to Catholic, like a fucking Christian, like a religious school to me. So I was like, I'm okay on that. I was like, I kind of have a kind of guess on what stuff they're gonna teach us. Like not everything, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna have some questions that they would make us take. So I was off of that. And it was funny because Ali was like telling me afterwards, he was just like, wait, you got the St. John? I was like, yeah. I was like, what? I was like, yeah. Like I didn't know about these shits like that. And then the thing is like, so one of my favorite teachers, he was a psychology teacher who I actually wanted to be a psychologist because of it, because of him. He went to Tuskegee. Then like one of our advisors went there too. And so like it was like a good group of us that got into Tuskegee from my school, and Jasper's brother got in. He got in, of course. Ali got in, but what happened was we were all gonna go because we was like talking about it. But it was funny because before that, Ariel wanted us to go because she had in, but then I was like, I don't know, because like the whole like guy girl thing, like I felt it was like I didn't think it was gonna like work if it was just us there or whatever. So, and then it just happened to like ended up working happening that. We ended up like they had a whole like thing where like I mean I don't know, it would have been, I doubt it would have been as I felt like it wouldn't have been really as fun if I would have just went with her. But and then so then Jasper was saying that we should go to ski, and then she already had got it, she already accepted Cal Poly Pomona, and so she was already going. So I was gonna go, but what happened was his mom had to sign off for his fucking FAFSA, and he couldn't get her to sign it, so he couldn't go to ski because he couldn't get the loans. Like he didn't get any fucking like. That was some bullshit, man. That mama did, bro. Like he would have been with us the whole time, bro. We'd had a really great time. But I'm sure of it. Like a lot of people that would have went in there, like a lot of people from Low Days. Rakim would have went. He had been to the homecoming though. He definitely was like pissed. Him and J-Rock. I mean not J-Rock. Him and Jeremy. Not Jeremy. Jab Daddy. Him and Jab Daddy. They both were like, they would have went too, but it just happened. So, but we always have this conversation about it, So yeah, so I'm going with Jasper and his brother. Nicole came, Malik came, and then my ex Tori, her best friend, she was in the same year as me, so she went the same year as us. She was there, Aaron, and then we just met like other people from Cali that were there, of course. That was the chance I took, just going out there, because I've never been there. I didn't take a tour there. I didn't take a tour up because of MedCorp. We were able to go to the Bay Area tours, like colleges and stuff. That was actually really fun. That was a great time, man. That was a great time. I forgot about that. We went to the Bay, Stanford. We went to Berkeley, UC Davis. We went to I think it was UC Santa Cruz, right? Like we went to all those up that way. Like it was like really dope. Like it was like a great experience. Like the people I was with was fun to be with. And then, while I was at Berkeley, of course. And it's funny because Dave was in Berkeley, so he ended up purposely being the tour guide for us. So that was like really fun. So the guy that was in charge, Les, he was like, he knew Dave, of course. And so Les was like, yeah, like so. And then as we're doing the tour, I'm like, yeah, that's my brother. They're like, oh wow, that's good. That's cool. And then when I went to Davis, Dave's girlfriend, not Julie Truman. Wow. I mean, that's just automatic. Like rolls off my tongue now. I'm sorry. Damn, can't even think of her name now. That's crazy. But the girl who was dating at the time, she went to Davis, and so I remember we ended up. I had a meeting with her and one of her friends, same friend, but they both went to Davis, I guess, at the same time. So I knew them because of Dave. And so they remember me. So it was like, it was good seeing them there, whatever, for a bit that we did. And then I think it was Santa Cruz was the weird one because they had like, so there was two different ones that were weird. Because I think Santa Cruz has a slug, because the yellow slug, the banana slug. When we saw one while we was there at the tour, but it was beautiful because it was all those fucking trees, like so many fucking trees. It was amazing. But the slugs in Stanford, I think it was the one with the silkworms. Like the motherfuckers just coming down the trees. It was like weird, like so many fucking silkworms. Like just like that was creepy. I was like, I could be here, do this, see this. Like the slug was like whatever. Like I did think it was interesting how they chose the banana slug as a mascot, but but the thing is like those fucking like silkworms like blew me. I'm like, bro, like I could not walk around this shit like this, like. Cause in like Tuskegee, like we did have like weird fucking things, like cause there was like mutated it was mutated roaches that chased you. Mutated mosquitoes that fucking loved anything sweet. You couldn't like wear like cologne perfume or anything like any like fruity like lotion or anything like that. So it would be very like bland. Oh, we had like the cicadas. Yeah, the motherfuckers are noisy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But they weren't that bad compared to like fucking silkworms. Squirrels are beasts. Oh, the squirrels are some beasts. Squirrels are beasts too. They didn't give a fuck. They were definitely OGs. That was it. That was it though. But yeah. Then I got to undergrad. I pretty much was like the lot of stuff that I did was pretty. I mean, it's like a lot of other stuff I did that is not influencing me now, but but I mean, I'll say a way, because it was like a lot of stuff I did that was pretty much all of the cementing, developing of my life, and the developing of friends that I had, like real friends that I had. I mean, I wouldn't say I had, because the thing is, like I told you before, I wasn't used to keeping friends after I would move on. And so yeah, that's why it was easy for me to after my first semester to not be out with Jasper and his brother anymore and stuff like that. So it was easy for me to do those transitions and stuff and hang out with different people. But then I eventually got a group that I was like consistent with, but then like in high school, I would say the only people that I've been consistent with still is the little daddies. We're technically called big daddies now, because we're adults. but there's because because Malik was there, Jasper was of course little daddy, and our friend Bryce was from LA, so he hung out with the little daddies like when we was all on breaks and stuff. So so to him, and then Jamila came out after the first year, so she was a little daddy too. And so all of us was pretty much there, and Jamila was pretty much the fucking the glue to all of us, like still being around and talking on GroupMe and stuff. So, so yeah, that's pretty much it. And then me and Jamila was like still cool, so I was like, that's pretty much. But like I said, I never like been like that, like I said before. But now I kind of am, because it's like they're still there and talking and stuff. And then in college, there's a group that I still talk to, and they're. And basically the friends that I made in my first year, including my roommate who passed away, Eric. Eric was the one that actually wanted to start it. He started it actually because he wanted us to do a lot of this is around the time when I was in the second house where I was living with him. I remember he was always wanting to do a traveling with the group, with the friends and stuff, because some people weren't in it once when we were there at the time. Because this is the 6th year, so some of us that were there, of course, were there or whatever. But he was I remember one time we went to Atlanta together. We had some people that was out that way, out in that area, and we all met up and got some food. It was a nice little adventure. Cause, Atlanta from Tuskegee to Atlanta is 2-hour drive, so that's not bad. And then I remember one time he wanted us to go. We went to the movies one time. Then he just do stuff with us and stuff like that, and just create memories. That's dope. And then he had started a group. The group me. The group is called Patty 5 Petty. So and it's so funny because we literally have fucking line names. It's hilarious though. So it's Eric's is because Erica is Eric was an alpha. So his was lukewarm. Big brother lukewarm. Because I don't eat meat, mine is big brother eat no meat. Yeah, it's like that pretty much. These are the funny names that we get. So it was so that's pretty much the other group that I'm still still in and still talk to and stuff. So, but yeah, cause I remember I was actually trying to meet up with them because Molly, my friend Molly, had got married last year, and I was trying to meet up with them, go to Texas for the wedding, and all the Pedophile Petty group would have been there. It would have been a great time, great experiences. But I had a whole situation with I always have fucking a situation with my fucking financial aid with school. So with my chiropractic schooling, so it was at the time I wasn't getting my shit at the time, so I had to I was gonna try to borrow money from Dave for the ticket and shit, and doing stuff and everything. It was actually because I had to worry about the ticket and then the Airbnb. It was the other stuff, and then of course the extra fees and stuff that you were worried about. But it was just Dave was just telling me do you feel like it's that important though? So I was just nah. So I was nah, cause I was man, I haven't seen them in years, and this would have been the perfect time to see everybody. But and then it just so happened I ended up having to go to Atlanta for a funeral for a last minute trip. So I had to do that anyway. So and I haven't flew since I went to Vegas 2015. Not 2015. It was Thanksgiving. What year was that? I forgot what year it was. But I was in Vegas with Mookie and his family and stuff, and so that was a fun time, a really fun Thanksgiving. That was the last time I flew. I mean, that was, cause I ain't flew since that time. So then now this is the recent time since that time I flew. So I ain't been flying since whatever. But yeah, but it is what it is though. But undergrad though, just all these things, whatever, So actually, the first one I did before anything was my work study job. But I had the whole 6 years I was there, I did research. And it's funny because I didn't even think it was going to be as serious as it was, because I'm it's just work study. I'm sure it's just going to be a basic job. I'm going to get paid for doing some regular student stuff. So I signed up for a research assistant job. And this seems like fun. I'm in the science stuff. I want to be, I want to go on, further medicine, further science and stuff like that, whatever. So I was this sounds like it'd be fun. I always did invention growing up, so I was research seems like it'd be interesting to do. And I thought, shit says lab assistant, so I'm thinking it's not even gonna be that that big of a thing to do, right? But first thing I got there, and so the thing is so I found out that so Dr. Alexander was a supervisor. she was like, oh, she actually did like a background check on all of the students that applied. So if like you didn't have a good background check, yeah, it would have been bad. Like social media and stuff. So like, but yeah, so that shit's real. It's a good thing I didn't really care about it like that, especially at that time. But even now my shit's still clean. People can check my shit. I don't care now. Same. But yeah, but lab stuff, whatever. So anyway, so we got into the lab stuff, started the lab work, started doing the research. But so we started off. I was the youngest person in the lab coming in, and then so we were working on some stuff. So we was working on first project. It was so somebody had created a peptide for a body for like so it's called interleukin, which is pretty much something that's made to suppress stress in the body and inflammation in the body. And so pretty much so the interleukin is being replaced. So the guy, a scientist, created a 10N peptide. So we were doing experiments on mice with the 10N. So what we did was so we had like a control group, of course, the ones that didn't have anything, we didn't do nothing to them. And then we had the ones that we took out the 10. Actually, no, I'm sorry. So the 10N, the IL-10 was already taken out of these mice. So there's already genetically altered for that reason, to see the difference. So how we did was without the 10N, and then we did like different percentages of it. Like a 10%, maybe 25%, 50%, and like 100% or something like that, whatever, right? So that's how we did it with the experiment. That was the first one we did. And then after that, from the 10N experiment, we rolled out into stress experiments. So we're looking for stress responders. So we was like doing prerequisite experiments. It's like seeing what could actually stress these mice out. And so we was like trying to see what would work. So we did like a lot of different tests to see what would stress them out, what wouldn't. So we was like, all right, cool, we're not gonna do this. So some of them, like the swim test, I think was one of the ones we didn't do. But all the prerequisite ones we did. We had sexual stress, wet bedding, incline, noise. I want to say one more, but I can't even think of it right now. But I mean, yeah, I think those might have been the main ones. Yeah, that seems about right. Yeah, that seems about right. That's the ones we had used. So then after that, we basically just like, so Dr. Alexander actually had put me in charge of making blueprint for all of those. I had to design everything. All of these experiments, all 4 experiments, I designed them all. And so like the one that took the most time was actually the sexual stress one. That was one I presented on because it was like these mice had to be separated every time. And the thing is, we used so many mice, but we had so many fucking issues going on that we had to repeat it. So it took a lot of time. So we had so many different groups. That's why, age groups, genders and stuff. Like the age group shits were like a big thing. So we did like different ages with that, with them and everything like that made the difference. And so, but it was like so many we did. So that's why when we had to redo it, it took a lot of time to redo. But the first time we did it, that was the first one I did present on, and then we had more because we had to do more. So we did like, so I was just like, yeah, we still have more to do, so still working on some more stuff. So we still have more questions. So there's still more questions to be answered. So I was like kind of hard to like answer some stuff, whatever. But I was like, all the time was like, we still work. We're redoing the experience. So we still have more results to get or to end up with, whatever. But that's pretty much it, whatever. So then I did the design for the incline. I had to make how we would do it with the inclines. We used like different like wood pieces to incline them up, and wet bedding was simple. Just percentage of bedding. Incline was degrees. The noise was just like different times, controlled. And then you had like 1 minute of noise bells and 2 minutes of it. And I was in charge of them, and I had the roles with the only reason why, the only one that was like that we had to do at certain times was the sexual stress, because it had to be so we had to do it for an hour. We had to observe them for an hour and then take them apart. That was what we had to do every day. So everybody had a day to do it. And it kind of did suck because the day I had to do it, it was the day we had a fucking snow day for the first time, and everybody had a whole ass fucking fight in the valley, snow fight in the valley. It was a lot of shit. And by the time I got doing my work, it was done. Niggas was in the cab. People were tired. There was no more snow. I was pissed. Like, damn, niggas had this whole ass fight without me, huh? But I was lucky because my last year there, it was like a whole week of that. So I was like, at least I get that before I go. Of course, it got boring after like a few days. But yeah, so then after that, so I did that. And the thing, so I did that the whole 6 years, and then I did. So then I didn't really do much my freshman year. I don't really know why. I know why. Cause I didn't really, cause I was smoking a lot and didn't have much drive. But then when I got away from that, I had more drive, of course. So then my sophomore year, I did a lot. My sophomore year, I did like fucking like. I was on the track. So I joined the track team. So I was on the I did like the pre-season workouts with the team when I joined, but then I also joined. I played for Absolute Sky. So that was Absolute drinking organization, drinking frat. So and then sisters sorority is Sky. But the thing is, those are they're like the fucking tightest family I have. Like, like honestly, it really is. Cause that's the family I went to when I went to the funeral. I was my line sister. It was her daughter that passed. I was there. I flew all out there last minute to go see her, support her. And a few of us that were there, we had a good time, hung out. It was beautiful. But that's pretty much how we were. Cause it was just like that was the things that we did when we hung out. We would have like when we used to have like Sunday dinners. We would like have like food and liquor and watch stuff and just like talk and chat and have a good time. And we would and then we also do parties and stuff at school. So like and then I remember it was fun. Like I had a good time with them. Whatever. I remember I brought them the line. That was fun doing that for one time, and then I became the president for one time for a bit. That was fun, just doing it because people were trying to get me to do it because I was the only one that niggas would list. I was the neutral party for everybody. That's the reason why they wanted me to be president. But I actually, and we had a great first meeting when I was doing it, but I wasn't like good at I guess like doing a lot with, I had to learn, I wasn't good at like trying to align people with like certain things, whatever, so that was a big thing too. And then when we did house parties, also sophomore year I did join Freemasonry. I did for joining. I was as a Freemason. And so when I did my processing, it was just like the whole thing was new. It was great, but it was like something I really, because people thought it was devil worshiping. So that was like the biggest thing I did, curiosity wise. I was like, let me just see. And somehow I'm like, I'll just stop. I'll just stop. I go through, of course, but I'm like, I'm gonna just stop. Like I'm gonna be like, I just want to be a part of it. Like it's not a hard thing to do, but I loved it. Those were another big family I enjoyed. I loved being around. Masons and sisters and their sisters and stuff. So I always have great. Even when I see brothers and sisters out here, whatever, I always have great friends around with them and stuff like that. And so it's always fun. That's always another group that I still talk to in the group meetings. And so that was that, and then we did the house parties. That was a rush, but it was like stuff. Pretty much all three of us in the house were pretty much a great trio to have for private parties. Great times with those. Everybody was in part of them, came to them. All my people that I joined, my groups and stuff, my organizations and stuff. Everyone was always around at the parties because we were free and stuff, whatever. And at my house, people knew me, so that was fun. I brought back the drama club, and then the lady that was an advisor was actually an actress out here in Hollywood for some years. Then she came back home, whatever. So she's older. She actually, so before she had let us even do one play, it was mandatory for us to do 6 months of training with her. So we literally had to do fucking like improv and shit, and we did like all these like improv machines. Like those motherfuckers were so much fun. Like, and that branched me out a lot. Like I can't, like I honestly, I think those 6 months of training actually helped me like to get me to where I am when I did my training, my acting now. But and then we did the first play. We did a play. So somebody wrote the script, and then we did everything for it. We made everything for it, and it was based off Tuskegee like lifestyle. It was called The Day in the Life. And it was like funny because I didn't even want to be the main character. And then they was just like, who wants to be this guy? So I was just like, nobody raised their hand. So I was like, I'll do it. Again, so I was the main character. But it was good. It was fun. Had fun. That was like a really good time movie. A little fun. And so we was like, so what happened was we didn't get to like really like perform like we wanted to, but we did. That's funny. But we performed it for certain people to try to get them to basically like, I guess, create a space for us for the drawing club. That was the whole reason why we did it, was for that reason. But we never like did anything after that. And then then she left because she ended up retiring, and then right like that year after that first year, so he had to bring somebody else in. So we needed a new advisor, and I think it was Dr. Whittington, because he was actually in the drama club before, so he was one I was talking to before, but he had to talk to her. That's why, because he was her advisor, I think, for that drama club. And so that was the point. But then I talked to him about it, but it wasn't as exciting to do it with him or anybody else. Like, because of her, I was like, man, that sucks. But I mean, we had a good time, the whole thing, whatever. So then after that, I did rave review. Rave review was like really the biggest thing I did. That was something that I was out in person, out in the outside, like type of shit, like. Cause like when I did, Freemasonry, like even though we finished, like it wasn't like no public shit we did. Nothing I did was public. The rave review was the only thing I did public. It was modeling. I was on after being online. And we did a little crossing show. It was literally like up front of everybody in the cafeteria. We did a whole thing. It was nice. It was fun. My line name is Flatline. Yeah. But I had, it was a great experience with that too. That branched me out more with like, just maybe being more comfortable with myself and stuff, whatever. I even did a modeling. I modeled for a friend, like when I did my first thing with JT. That was fun. Using my skills. And then so this book called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. That was what I read. Vermin gave me the book because he had read it before. So after I read that book, that was the thing that got my mindset different. So I started thinking more about taking chances and like more chances and like that. I was clearly already doing, but it's more so about seeing the signs that's given to you and accepting them and taking advantage of the signs. That's what The Alchemist was about. He had so many chances in his life where he was comfortable, but he was like, he still needed to reach for that main goal he was aiming for in the beginning of the book. And so he kept leaving his comfortability zones to go and keep going and taking these risks and getting back out there to uncomfortable areas and out of his comfort zones and being like, all right, man, I gotta at least get to this. Like even a woman you love is like, you gotta at least do this. You're gonna regret it all your life, and you can just come back to me. I'm used to this. Our words coming back to us anyway, so you just come back to me once you're done. Yeah, that was the beautiful thing, man. And he did it, and then got back or whatever. But like that was a beautiful thing. And, like he took his chances with that and achieved what he wanted. And so the thing is, like after I read that book, it inspired me to be like, I'm gonna take more chances in life, whatever, and take these risks and look at these signs and stuff. So then after that, my senior year, it was my last year there, my summer before that last year, I had to be at school. So I ended up having to take a chance of going to a more, because I was helping some high school students with research I did. Like they were probably presenting under research I did, whatever. So that was the point. So I was able to watch over them during their presentations. But I was invited to a one-day conference at Morehouse Medical School. And so the thing is, it was like, I wanted to go. It was a summer day. I gave us, I already had the bus ready for us and stuff. And I told Dr. Alexander about it, and I was like, I'm gonna go. She was like, man, you really just gonna go and leave them and not be there for them whenever during their presentations and stuff? That's not cool. Like, and she made me really feel bad. Like honestly, like I felt really bad. I was like, I guess I'm just not gonna go. And then later on that night, she texted me and apologized and was like, I'm sorry about that, making you feel bad. Like she was just like, you could just go on and I'll just, I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you and let you know what happens. So of course, made me feel a lot better. So I ended up going the next day with Elijah, and so it was just a one-day thing. That we had to like so that. So that was the first time I met a chiropractor, Black at that. And so we had chatted. Nobody ever talked to him after the thing. I was the only one that talked to him. We were chatting about some stuff. We were basically literally just vibing the whole time, like and chatting. And I asked him a question about chiropractic, of course, and he was just like, y'all do like your 4 years with white people, and then after that you can get back to your own. That was really what he was saying. I was like, and I get it now. Like what you meant, and it's like, but it makes sense, like, but he had went to med school first and got his fucking MD first, and didn't like what he was doing, and then came to chiro. And then as I was in chiropractic school, I realized like a lot of people were like that. A lot of people did a whole bunch of other stuff before doing this. That's why they were a lot more adamant about finishing than I was, because this shit was literally just put in my hand. Because after I met him and talked to him, he became my mentor after that. I was like, I'm bet he's gonna be my mentor if he did. And so we talked and stuff. He had done my recommendation. It was a beautiful one. Because I needed a chiropractic recommendation. Now I ended up talking to a chiropractor in Tuskegee to see him for just like a few hours a week. And so he had gave me like these, I asked him to give me questions, like, because I wasn't doing any actual studying, because I was only in tutoring. I was just like working in the labs. I was like, I don't want to just like not know shit. Like I want to be refreshed on my shit, the information and stuff. So he gave me like questions every week to do and send to him, and bring to him. So I was able to stay on par with that and help me. And then after that, was that temperature? Yeah. No, I was like, okay. But then after that, so then after doing all that, but then like so even before that, right? Even before I even did that, I was talking to so I was like looking up different schools. He went to Life in Georgia, and so I was looking up schools out, and I was looking up schools, everywhere. Excuse me, of course, but Life was like all the college schools, because a lot of them were like out in like kind of more so the eastern side of the country, and a few on the west. There's like one I think in Texas. I think a friend of mine went there after he left my school, SCU, and there was like literally like 3 in California, 1 upstate, and then 2 down here. But then a few years ago, this like one of them like was one of them got closed because it was closed down, so it was only pretty much just 1 and 1 now. Or I think it might be 2. I think there's 2 upstate and then 1 down here now. I want to say, because I think it was like a Palmer West, and then I don't really remember 100%, but and then because I know it was a Life West, but I don't remember where that one was. But anyways, but I was lucky because the one in Whittier was the one that actually was like comfortable with taking the GPA I had, because they took with my best stuff and was like, all right, we're gonna put it together. Because the 2.4, but they was like, oh, we're just gonna take your best stuff and put them together, and you got 2.8. So now you're underneath the handicap section. So that means you can still get in. So that's what I did. And once he gave me that thumbs up to say you're in, it was over. Like it was like, all right, cool. Now you just gotta do your application. You gotta pay your fee, and my fee got waived. And there was like personal statement, because I was talking to the fucking like the counselor guy, whatever, like throughout the whole thing. And he was like, I was talking about my story. He was like, your story is great. Put that shit in paper. He didn't say shit, of course, but he was just like, put it on paper. That's gonna be your personal statement. So I did. Made a beautiful story, personal statement wise, and send it to him. Done. Fee got waived for the application. Done. Recommendations done. And then I just started like going to somebody, watching him doing. He didn't even do a lot, no adjustments, but like massage stuff for a person that had injury, car accident and stuff. But I didn't get a chance to like see it a lot because of the hours and stuff I had. Very unavailable. But I was able to like learn stuff from him. And then I had to do an interview. I was able to do it over the phone and their friend's phone at the time, co-worker's phone from work. And I got like advice from like both different chiropractors. So it's pretty much like how with the what's that dude's name? It's a guy he's like a rich, very rich Asian, and his book he wrote is called Rich Dad Poor Dad. So it's pretty much like that, because the different type of chiropractor I was talking to, like the one, like different type of mentors and shit. Like one was the one that was like the CFO that didn't know me personally, but just knew me enough to give me enough information to be like, these are like the basic stuff to know, like weaknesses, strengths and stuff like that, and ask for feedback afterwards and stuff, whatever. But then the one that knew me well was the humble chiropractor that didn't have a lot of patience and stuff at the time. And so he was the one that was like the more relaxed one. He was just like, but he also knew me personally. He was just like, be yourself. Like he knows me. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's 2 different sides that I had. So it gave me, a great foundation for that, to be ready for the interview. I had the interview, everyone was great. Then I got the call like literally 5 minutes later about getting in. They was like, yeah, save your seat. They was like, I was like, I ain't got the money to save my seat. He was like, all right, we're just type of like explaining that. We'll see if we can get the waived. I didn't even fucking. The guy was just like, the guy that was supposed to do the accepting was just like, yeah, like, I'm not gonna read. He was like, do you think he's SU material? Yeah. So he didn't even look at the letter. He was just like, he's good. So that was passed. So I just had to, when I finally got home in May, end of May, so June, I was just like, I got a job, so I just like worked me as like canvasser job for the summer, just like, and like have money and stuff and do shit until I got home. I mean, until I got to college school and stuff. But I was lucky because when I did canvassing, that was actually the first job I had where I was around other ethnicities. And me being a minority, I've never done it, so that's new. That was really new to me. So yeah, that was a difference for me to do with these things, and so I had that actually helped me, because once I got comfortable with those type of people, because the chiropractors are people that are very open-minded for a lot of stuff, and so chiropractic students are the same, but they're different ethnicities than me that I'm not used to. So, but I got like that good like foundation shit going on. I had good foundation after like the canvassing job. So when I went to chiropractic school, I was already comfortable being that, like being around those different type of people. So that helped. And then as I've been in chiropractic school, just like certain because they give you all this money, you don't work, so you need to fill out your time with other stuff. So I filled mine up with doing production stuff. I met a JT through a friend. I did a modeling thing with him. I did like to my friend that I modeled for her and helped with her whole thing, and I wasn't able to have my like bow ties and stuff. Oh, actually yes, because even after mine, and do the bow ties and stuff, whatever. So then, so then I did that stuff, whatever. So then after that, so I started doing a lot of like production with JT and stage plays, acting, and put money in it. Exactly, produced, managed, props, acting. I've done a lot with his plays. Then I did some I did some murder mysteries with this organization. Elegant Moment by JT. Then I helped Taste Smith with some events and stuff. That's what helped me get my start off with the production team, because when I did the labor with her for free, because with one of her talents, she had an event for them, whatever, and that's what I helped with for free, and I did a good job. So she was just like, I fired everybody else. She was like, if you can get the team, I'll just hire you guys next time. So I was like, all right. So that's what I did. I worked on the team, and I was like, yeah, all right. So I knew who did what and who would want to do labor jobs, and that was the point. And then I was like, so then she was like telling me that she had basically put the fire into me, was like, get your shit started, like with name stuff, logo and everything, like Instagram and everything. Like she basically gave me the fucking blueprint that I have now. Because if I didn't have a blueprint for my fucking production company, then I wouldn't have the blueprint for my talk show. Because like everything I do for that is the same, literally. I mean, not exactly, because different pages have different like ways of how I say stuff in the captions, but it's short and sweet. Because even when I did the production, I was like starting off for my first one, it was a story. Man, it was a story. Like I would usually do with my regular stuff. She was just like telling me like, yo, like, don't do that. She was like, I'm gonna send you photos of my shit. These are my captions. Do that. Make that shit sweet. Like sweet as fuck. Like she did like the whole, cause like she even like helped me with the like the little fucking like phrase I have like in my profile, and then with the captions, it was like sweet. It's just like all I say is Najee Production provides concierge service for, and then whoever the event it was, tag the person. Like it's like what I do now with my show is just because Najee Productions and Najee Talk are two different things. Najee Productions creates the show, and then Najee Talks is the show. So it's pretty much on Najee Productions' page is Najee Productions provides concierge service, and Najee Talks is, and Najee say what the episode is. But if it's like an event or something like that, I just say, okay, this is for this person's event, and then I tag, because I did with stuff before, this person's event, name of the event, when it was, but, of course I tag the person, and if it's like shout outs, I put the shout outs in there. Because I remember one time I do like other shout outs on top of that, because it was like photographers and stuff that was in it. Them taking me like all their information, so I put them all in there, whatever. And then the production team that was involved in it, so if it's like, I'll put them in there too, and what they've done with the events, and then I just like the little hashtags. Something unique that I came up with, like work like a hive, because like it's a hive on the logo, beehive. So I just say work like a hive. That was like really dope. I like that. And it's funny because even me and they actually pointed out to the same logo at the same time on the app that I use. Like I was like, I looked at it, I was like, I like that, and so then I showed it to her. I just like showed her the list, like as you gotta get more into the category of what you want, break it down more and more, and then like there's like a like just like logos up. So she was looking at them, and like the first one she saw, like I was like, that's the same one. So like it was just like perfect. And then so yeah, the like just say like that, simple words, and then captions, Najee production. The thing is, so then I was able to like the production shit with the two ends is like it was just like happenstance, because when I kept trying to fucking create the Instagram page, I kept doing it wrong, and I kept using so I used the regular production name with N, regular N, just one N, and then so I did like a business profile first, and it was only on fucking Facebook, but it wasn't on Instagram too. So I was like, fuck, so I tried to do another one, and I did it with an S, and the same thing happened. So I was like, fuck. So I figured out how you're supposed to do it is do a regular page first, then turn it into a business page. So that's what I did. So, but that one had to be a double N. So now it's unique. So now every time I do anything on there, it's always gonna say production with two N's, like Najee production. Because even when I do like my production team, like when I shout out my production team, it's always two N's. Everything is two N's now. Like so that makes it like a unique thing now. And that's funny, right? Work like a hive, team Najee. You know. And then the Najee talk is just simple. When I have edited captions for that, just say the episode, because it's just because it's about the show. It's a categorized. It's more of a narrowed down thing instead of just being a production, like a production company. This one is the show, like so it's different. So production can do a lot more. So it's like that's why the caption is what it is. But then the show is like that, and we're just explaining like what the episode is, and who's in it and stuff. Right, that's the point. But with but yeah, and then so anytime now, I'm sorry, trying to ask her for advice and stuff, and like talk to her about like things, and take chance with doing more with her and stuff, because I know she's doing a lot with stuff she's doing, help her out with stuff, and I'm doing what I can with other stuff, whatever. Also some stuff I did with I also had brought back the Black Chiropractic Students Association, SAPCA, Student Black Chiropractic Association. I brought that back, became the president, and we actually had some great meetings. And then I got suspended after that fall term, so I had two people take it over for the spring. And then when I got back in the summer, it was fucking over, and I was so mad. Because I was trying to do so much. Like we had so many plans, and the thing is, like I knew from my last mistake with being president with Absolute, I knew the mistake I had. Where it was kind of hard because it was like I also knew it because it's like different, because undergrad and graduate levels are different, because graduate school people are more focused on the schooling situation and doing events and stuff like that. Because also, and then our school wasn't like attached to a hospital or anything like that, so it was like a big school, and it was in high school. So and it also wasn't even in the college city, like it wasn't even a college town or nothing like that. Like if it wasn't like Fullerton, it probably would have made shit better. But we was in fucking Whittier, like ain't shit there. I've lived there for 2 years, like the fucking suburban Mexicans, like that's it. But it's a nice area though. But that's it. But so it wasn't like too many fucking options to do a lot. Like it made it easy to focus on school, and it also made it easy to not be as fucking like energetic with doing different things with the school, like clubs and stuff like that, whatever. And also did not be GPA to like go to like certain things. A lot of stuff with the school, like fucking like DCA and fucking like SAC and shit like that. Like, but it was really good. So I really didn't care as much. Honestly, it was like if I could, I could. If I wouldn't, it is what it is. I'm not regretting it. But when I did the SAC thing, because black shit, wanted to try to be involved, and I was always doing black events, going to black events. This is even before I even did my playing shit like that. Whatever. I mean my talk show, or even the production team and stuff like that. But I was always around black people doing black things, black plays, black stuff like that, whatever. So that's what I was used to, and so I would do that, and I was like, all right, let me do this, whatever. You get to know all the black people anyway, because there's a handful of us, and so we always try to know each other, talk to each other as much as we can. And so when I brought it together, my friend Moy, because it was funny, because we were both trying to do it together. No. So what happened was, so it was me and Erica. Erica was like, I want to say a few terms above me or something like that. She was above me for sure. And she was trying to do it, so we were both trying to do it, but she didn't care about being the president. She would have rather just being like the treasurer, because she didn't want to do all the extra shit. She's in a lot. She did a lot of like positions. So she didn't care about being like the head or nothing. She was okay with just being like treasurer. So that was cool with her. So, but she wanted to like bring it up. Bring it back. And so we was talking about it, and we were actually like having meetings and stuff with people because I met Peter, and I think I forgot what school she goes to. She went to like another Cairo school. I forgot where at, bro. It's like East Coast side or whatever. But that was the first person we've met like with that, like other students that went there, whatever, went to other schools. But it was only because she was like a part of the South Korea chapter there at that school, and so we had met her through that, whatever. And we had met like other people and stuff, whatever, through meetings that we had about starting it up and stuff, like starting it back up. And then we found out more wanted to do it too, and more was we were in the same class actually. But she wanted to be president, and I didn't care. So I was like, so it was funny because we both were trying to be president. I mean, because she didn't care, but Erica didn't care. But like, it didn't bother me either. I mean, because if Mo wanted to do it, but I think what happened was I think we just said like rock paper scissors. So it was just like whoever wins becomes president, and whoever loses becomes vice. That's it. So that's how we did it. So I became vice president, and so I was like, all right, cool. I don't care. I'll support you. I didn't really care about that shit anyway. So I was supporting it the whole time. We had people in positions. Because we had to have positions in the advisor and stuff. So our advisor was Dr. It was a Dr. D, a black chiropractor that was helping out with one of the CP courses. That's how we knew him. He was really cool. But he was and so I talked to him about being our advisor. Like everything was working smoothly actually. So then Moy had like, I guess she was doing a lot with school the next term, and was like, can you just be president? Because I'll be VP. Because I'm trying to just focus on schooling and stuff. Because I was like, cool, I get that. And so I became president, and so then I was like having like, I didn't care about having like meetings in like rooms, because it wasn't like a lot of us, and we weren't doing like, because like when you have like most like a lot of times people have meetings like in rooms with food and like it's like scheduled meetings and stuff. So we just like have our meetings like it would be. I think most of the time I think it was usually it was either during I think a lot of times it was just during lunch, because I bought lunch at the same time, so we was able to get everybody there and stuff, whatever. And we were just sitting in the fucking the middle, like the quad area or whatever, that all the grass and stuff for that. Like we were just at the tables there and talk about stuff, and we had like some really good ideas. I was even thinking a Kwanzaa celebration there too at the school, because they did like Thanksgiving and stuff and stuff like that, and they were pretty open. So I'm pretty sure they would have been open to having it as long as we had planned it out right. I felt like it would have been a great event to have. Kwanzaa event would have been nice. And we were like trying to we were talking about doing a barbecue. We were talking about doing a lot. It was gonna be a nice. I think we were gonna have like a lot of good stuff we were gonna do. I think if I would have stayed that spring term, it would have been really, really, really beautiful. And I even got in contact with the old president that was like there when Lewis, because Lewis had to come back after some years. So Lewis was with him. So he was with the old president then, the second president then, and I found out he was a Mason too. So we was like, oh shit, what up, bro? Like, start talking, and then he was just like, helping me out with some advice and stuff about being president and like what they did. But it was just like kind of hard, because it was just like I've never had to pick up an organization. Usually people just get a position, like a main position, like the presidency from an organization that's already been involved with stuff and doing stuff, and you can use history, and learn from that, the histories that others did. But if it's like brand new, there's no history to this shit. It's been years since it's been back in, so it's pretty hard to fucking like have to like figure this shit out. So like I was able to get involved in getting kind of with them, but it was just like, man, a lot. Then when I got back, it died out because Charles and fucking Lewis didn't didn't have the passions I had, so it made it hard. And then after that, kind of just was like hard to like try. I didn't care when I got back after that time. That second time, I really didn't give a fuck about doing anything, like at all. I was just like, I'm just trying to get the fuck out now. It was at that time anyway to do that, so I get why other people would like it. Because when you get into clinical shit, it's like pretty much don't really care about doing a lot seriously. But I did find out, because I was like, so as I was like near my ending, like in my last term before I was expelled, I was talking to Jordan. She was at the X-ray residency at the time, black, but she went to the school, black student. She was actually at the school same time Lewis was, and then she graduated and then did her residency in the X-ray department. So it was like cool because I also we did some my X-ray rotation. She was there, whatever, helped us out and stuff. So, and like so I started sitting in my videos and stuff. So we so cool and stuff like that, whatever. But I remember I like talked to her about the shit that was going on with the whole situation that was going on with me. She was like, damn. And then she was like talking to me about trying to like start back the SAPC organization. She was just like, I would want to do it, but I was like telling her like I don't even be on campus like that anymore. Like I was. I guess it's gonna be hard to like have me and get me to do it or whatever and get involved with it like I was. She was like, yeah, I get it. But then I heard now that because another black student that I was talking to, she's in her first year there. And, Ashley, she was saying that it came back, like SAPC is back now. So, and I think Jordan is actually Simone, Dr. Jordan, Simone. It's always weird because it's two. I always fuck up with the names orders, but Simone Jordan. That's what Dr. Jordan. So whatever, Simone. I always fuck up with the order, man. So much. But yeah, I heard that she's the advisor now, so that's cool. I'm glad they brought it back. But the biggest risk I had to take was coming back off of hiatus. 6 months. Last recording was in December 19. January came, got expelled from school. February came, got kicked out of my apartment. March came, mom passed. I was dealing with so much, bro. Like trying to figure out what I was gonna do with work, cause like I have a job. I was in school getting the like loans, so I had to find a job. I had to figure out if I was gonna I ended up applying for another program, but then it was like I still had school money, so I couldn't get into the program. I got paid them off. That was the issue. Then I was in a whole new place, living like a fucking. I can't even like tell you how much I fucking ate. Like it's so much shit that you have to sacrifice, like staying with these people. Like I love them dearly, but just one of the facts being that my grandmother is sick, my papa's downstairs with us, so we can't even fucking be loud. Like I don't even care about sharing the room with them because I did this. I shared the room with this thing when I was in fucking England and shit like that, multiple occasions. But even before that, it happened so many times before that. Really, was the only time it never happened because they wouldn't allow that shit. But like there was one time that he was like there longer than expected. Like he was there for one night and it was tripping. Like that's how crazy that shit was. But the thing is like, but Inglewood was like fucking independence. That was like the first time I had a full independent like place I was in. I was like loved the roommates I was with. I loved them so much. Yeah, Brown and Chris. We had a great house. I was able to do my shows. They were like, bro, they were so agreeable of me doing my shows. I just had to like communicate like with the schedules, and bro, it was just so amazing. So much stuff there that we could do. So much potential for stuff, like doing like little things, and being a fucking like so fucking convenient for so much shit. Like it was close to fucking everything than I ever been to, and by the fucking freeway, cause I was never like that before. And like all that shit, bro, I miss all of it. And even when I did share the room with Dom on occasions, but it would be times when I would be able to have the room to myself because Dom could just be on the couch, doing the couch. But when we was like having to move out the couch, I had to get out. So it was maybe like a day or two. He had to like not be there on the couch or whatever. But all before that, he was whatever. So I was able to actually have my shit to myself. But yeah, so now not that at all. Like sharing the room. At least he has his own bed, and so it's not like it's at least we have our beds and shit like that. But quite like just like the fact that we can't do too much with like sounds and stuff, and like I don't know, it's some of the little things. That's the issue. Remember, it's still my fucking grandfather, so he still sees me as a child, so it's kind of like hard to like. It's a lot to deal with, a lot of changes and stuff to deal with and stuff like that. But it is what it is, though. Can't wait to get a fucking job and get the fuck out. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit's real. But right now, gotta do what I gotta do. Humble myself as much as I can, whatever I can, from what I can. Well, yeah, but yeah, that 6 month hiatus was hell. Like just coming back, spending so much time not doing it, not because the things I have to do so much with this shit. Like the grind is heavy with this shit. Like. Because even back when I was doing this, like when I just started doing the midweekly rants in the last season, I did 7 episodes every fucking weekend, bro. Like with those weekly rants, bro. And the thing is, it was like with those rants, I had to. It wasn't like how I'm doing them now, where I can just do them in the daytime because I have the time to do it. and I could just record it and then upload them later. But when I was doing them shits before, I would have to come from fucking school or wherever I was at that day on the weekdays. I mean, so it was like Wednesday, so I was in Whittier Wednesdays. And so I'll be in Whittier on Wednesdays and come home. And right when I come home, I would have to be like, figure out what I want to talk about and record it. Like, that was pretty much how I did it. Figure out what it was, and like, alright, then write it out, little details and stuff, bullet points and stuff, and then go from there. And that was pretty much how it went every time. And that was the weekly thing. And I was like tired because it would be like I'll have to upload it and then fucking like publish it that same fucking night. That shit was annoying as fuck, bro. Like honestly, like I'm glad I had this convenience of doing this shit, being able to do this shit now, but it makes a difference for sure. And being able to event makes it a lot easier to do with the shit I'm done with now, but then just getting back into that grind shit. Like, and I'm glad I just only do every other weekend, and like now I'm done with the season, so I can just give myself a hiatus for like 2 months and then come back in 2 months. I think I'm gonna just do every season now. So it was like the summer, so then now I'm gonna wait until the winter, come back, and then wait until like, then I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna do that winter season, and then I'm gonna take a hiatus, come back in spring, hiatus summer. It works out because it's like 2.5 months as I'm doing them now every other week. It spreads out well, so I don't have to be too fucking congested with doing the weekly rant at the same time. So I can at least give me a weekend off, whatever. So every other weekend off, whatever. So that's like, it says 2.5 months. And then take 2 months off, come back in 2.5 months, 2 months off. I think it's gonna work pretty smoothly. And I think it's just being 5 episodes. Back to that gives me time, gives me enough to already have a next season ready. So I'm ready, and I have a new episode for the 6th season too. And I have 2 scheduled discussions coming up. That's gonna be 3, so I'm almost done with the 6th season. So I'm only just give me 2 more discussions, and I'm 2 seasons in, bro. That's literally fucking fall. That's winter and fucking spring. That's a whole year. And I'm gonna be recording more. And by the time it happens, I already know I'm gonna record more. So, so I'm happy. Things are working out well with this. School's working out well. I'm going through that shit smooth. Almost done with this next module already. 2nd module, anatomy. I see why I had to learn that. The requirement prereq was anatomy first, and then we're also, we're going to do more anatomy in it because it's 2 parts of it, and then it's going to be a part we're going to do pathology. But right now, I'm just the first part of anatomy. We're learning about different elements and doses, sub-doses underneath those doses, the doses under doses, and qualities of elements, qualities of the doses, qualities of the sub-doses. It's interesting though. Like, I like it. It's pretty interesting. Seeing the different qualities and stuff, like learning about these different things and like increase and decrease of these things in the body with the elements, with the doses and stuff. Where these places are, where the sub-doses are located in the body and what they do. What their purpose is in the body, because the things is like doses have their own purpose, and then so the sub-doses are gonna have those same purposes, but they're gonna be in different areas doing different things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like one is like Peter, right? Peter's the middle. That's who I am. Mostly Peter's gonna be digestion. Each sub-dose is gonna be a different type of digestion, but they're gonna be located in different parts of the body. And I think the Vata one is like pretty much everything is pretty much like a lot of absorption stuff. So it's gonna be like, one is gonna be like internal absorption inside the body, absorbing them in. Another one's gonna be in like peripheral to center. The other one's gonna be center to peripheral. One's gonna be up and out. Other's gonna be down and out. Like, and that's how it is. It's just 5 each. I'm saying, as you learn it and stuff. Like, it's just very interesting for sure. So yeah, it's like just doing this shit with the after expulsion shit, post grad expulsion stuff. You're taking a chance with the IVR program. Like, I'm so happy I did it. And so yeah, so I would say, keyword of today's lesson, you take these chances, read these signs. They're a beautiful thing. Take them in. Namaste. Sorry. Namaste.
Thank you for watching the episode. Before you go, please subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notifications. Because I know you don't want me to continuously send you DMs and text messages every week. Instead, you just get notifications every time I upload an episode, Sundays, and then when I upload my midweekly rants on Wednesdays. Thank you, and have a good day.